Hello, my name is Pastor Kathy Kollar. I'm the pastor of Pleasant Valley Lutheran Church near Malabar Farm and St. Paul Lutheran Church in Lucas, Ohio. Greetings. We are reading through the Bible. We are in Genesis. We are up to chapter 27. We've been learning about the patriarchs and not necessarily going fast. Today we're going to cover 2 chapters, but it's not going to be the whole story about Jacob. So Abraham was directed by God to leave his country and go to a land that God would show him, ended up in the land of the Canaanites with his wife Sarah. Then he had, at long last, in his old age, his baby Isaac, meaning he laughs. And then Isaac eventually married a woman from his kinfolk over in Haran and married Rachel, and she had twins, Jacob and Esau. Esau was the firstborn and should have inherited everything. But one day Jacob was making stew. Esau came in hungry and said, "Give me some of that stew." And Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright." But just because Esau sells Jacob his birthright doesn't mean he actually has completely taken it until he tricks his father, Isaac. So that is where we are today in chapter 27 of Genesis. When Isaac was old and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called his elder son Esau and said to him, "My son." And he answered, "Here I am." He said, "See, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me. Then prepare for me savory food, such as I like, and bring it to me to eat, so that I may bless you before I die." So we read in an earlier chapter that Isaac really liked Esau because he was a hairy man who liked to be out in the outside. Rachel really liked Jacob, who was a much quieter man who lived in the tents. Verse 5, Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to his son Esau. So when Esau went to the field to hunt for game and bring it, because of course it's going to take a little while, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "I heard your father say to your brother Esau, 'Bring me game and prepare for me savory food to eat, that I may bless you before the Lord before I die.' Now therefore, my son, obey my word as I command you. Go to the flock and get me 2 choice kids, so that I may prepare from them savory food for your father, such as he likes. And you shall take it to your father to eat, so that he may bless you before he dies." So there's a big difference between authority and power. Women in this time in ancient Near East have no authority, but they do have power. They have the ability to make things go the way they want to go. Verse 11, But Jacob said to his mother Rebekah, "Look, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am a man of smooth skin. Perhaps my father will feel me, and I shall seem to be mocking him and bring a curse on myself and not a blessing." He doesn't say I won't do it. He says, but how is this going to work? His mother said to him, "Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my word and go get them for me." So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and his mother prepared savory food such as his father loved. And when I hear this, I think of curry. And when you go to an Indian or an Asian restaurant and they have curry, you can get chicken curry and beef curry, but lamb curry, to some extent, it's curry. Like the meat is the meat because it's the curry is all the flavors, all those spices. Then Rebekah took the best garments of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. She put the skins of the kids on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. Then she handed the savory food and the bread that she had prepared to her son Jacob. So he went in to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am. Who are you, my son?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you have told me. Now sit up and eat of my game, so that you may bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son?" Because, of course, if you're going to go hunting, it takes a while to catch something and then prepare it. He answered, "Because the Lord your God granted me success." Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near that I may feel you, my son, to know whether you are really my son Esau or not." So Jacob went up to his father Isaac, who felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He did not recognize him because his hands were hairy like his brother's Esau's hands. So he blessed him. He said, "Are you really my son Esau?" He answered, "I am." Then he said, "Bring it to me that I may eat of my son's game and bless you." So he brought it to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come near and kiss me, my son." So he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his garments, and blessed him, and said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine." So this is very poetic language, and in the Bible it's written with indentations like poetry. So we don't know if this was a set blessing, like we have a blessing that I often say at the end of these videos, or was it just the one that he is giving? But the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, plenty of grain and wine. So may the rain fall and your crops do very well. Let peoples serve you and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you. So you're going to have agricultural success and political success and every kind of success that you can possibly have. Verse 30. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, when Jacob had scarcely gone from the presence of his father Isaac, his brother Esau came in from his hunting. He also prepared savory food and brought it to his father. And he said to his father, "Let my father sit up and eat of his son's game, so that you may bless me." His father Isaac said to him, "Who are you?" He answered, "I am your firstborn son, Esau." Then Isaac trembled violently and said, "Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me, and I ate it all before you came, and I have blessed him? Yes, and blessed he shall be." When Esau heard his father's words, he cried out with exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, bless me also, father." So don't not bless me. You just because you blessed him, bless me too. But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully, and he has taken away your blessing." Esau said, "Is he not rightly named Jacob?" And the footnote says he supplants, or he takes by the heel, because originally he was grabbing Esau's heel when they came out of the womb. "For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and look, now he has taken away my blessing." Then he said, "Have you not reserved a blessing for me?" Isaac answered Esau, which is like, I have twins, and I try so hard to be so fair, and I cannot even imagine giving one of my twins all the blessings and none for my other twin, and then when the other twin comes in, there's nothing left. I don't think so. I think it's commentators have a really hard time with this passage because Rachel and Jacob were deceitful, and Isaac had his suspicions, but he went with it. And everybody wants to place blame, and I think there's no blame to be placed. People are human, people are sinful, and the patriarchs were no less sinful than the rest of us were. And I think nobody here was righteous. Like Rachel was deceitful, Jacob was deceitful, Isaac played favorites and was going to give all the blessing to one of his kids. And Esau was just playing along with it. If anything, I feel the most sorry for Esau. Verse 37, Isaac answered Esau, "I have already made him your lord, and I have given him all his brothers as servants, and with grain and wine I have sustained him. What then can I do for you, my son?" Esau said to his father, "Have you only one blessing, father? Bless me also." bless me also, father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39. Then his father Isaac answered him, See, away from the fatness of the earth shall your home be, and away from the dew of heaven on high. By your sword you shall live, you shall serve your brother, but when you break loose, you shall break his yoke from your neck. So traditionally, the Edomites did not live in the places where you grew a lot of crops. They lived more in the desert, and they were underneath the Israelites until under Jeroboam, the Edomites were able to break free. Verse 41, Now Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing which his father had blessed him. And Esau said to himself, The days of mourning for my father are approaching. In other words, he's going to die eventually. Then I will kill my brother Jacob. But the words of her elder son Esau were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called her younger son Jacob and said to him, Your brother Esau is consoling himself by planning to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a while, until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger against you turns away, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day? And I think I forgot to read the very end of chapter 26, which is literally 2 verses. When Esau was 40 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they made life bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. So the very end of the last chapter, we learn that Isaac had married 2 women, but they were Hittites. They were not Israelites. Which at this point we don't even call them Israelites, but they were not the kin from Haran, from the family of Abraham and then and his fathers over in Haran. So this is the reference that we're coming to now. Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the Hittite women. If Jacob marries one of the Hittite women such as these, one of the women of the land, what good will my life be? So they really had an issue with marrying outside of their kinship group. Chapter 28. Then Isaac called Jacob and blessed him. I mean, he's already blessed him deceitfully. Now he's blessing him on purpose. Like he's called Jacob, asked for Jacob, is blessing Jacob. You shall not marry one of the Canaanite women. Go at once to Paddan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take as a wife from there one of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. Go find a cousin, marry a cousin. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and numerous, that you may become a company of peoples. May he give to you the blessing of Abraham, to you and to your offspring with you, so that you may take possession of the land where you now live as an alien, land that God gave to Abraham. Thus Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Paddan Aram, to Laban son of Bethuel the Aramean, brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. So this time Isaac's blessing to Jacob is intentional and on purpose. And he very specifically is saying, may you have the blessing. Abraham, my father, was promised so many descendants that you couldn't count them. And I am Isaac, his son, and God promised me so many descendants, I couldn't count them. And now I'm passing that blessing on to you, Jacob, that you may have that blessing that Abraham had and that I have, that promise. Because at this point, Abraham, yes, he had other children besides Isaac, but Isaac was the one with the promise. And so Jacob goes to go find a cousin to marry. Now Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Paddan Aram to take a wife from there, and that he had blessed him and as he blessed him, he charged him, You shall not marry one of the Canaanite women. And that Jacob had obeyed his father and his mother and gone to Paddan Aram. So when Esau saw that the Canaanite women did not please his father Isaac, Esau went to Ishmael and took Mahalath, daughter of Abraham's son Ishmael, sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife in addition to the wives he had. I'm always telling people who might volunteer to read at church, don't worry about the pronunciations. Besides the fact that these are 3,000-year-old names, originally written in Hebrew or Aramaic, no matter how I pronounce them, it's not going to be accurate to how they pronounced it at the time. So we do our best. My Bible has a bunch of diacriticals and marks, so Nebaioth looks like how it's pronounced. But the key thing is Esau realized, oh, I'm supposed to have married within my kin, so I will marry a cousin through Ishmael, Isaac's half-brother, Ishmael's daughter, Mahalath, excuse me. And so Mahalath is his wife. So now he has 3 wives. Verse 28:10. Jacob left Beersheba and went toward Haran. He came to a certain place and stayed there for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place. And he dreamed that there was a ladder. Possibly, how do you translate it? Either a ladder or a staircase. A ladder set up on the earth, the top of it reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And the Lord stood beside him and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and to your offspring, and your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And all the families of the earth shall be blessed in you and in your offspring. Know that I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. So now God himself has appeared to Jacob and said, yes, I made this promise to Abraham, this promise to your father Isaac. Now I make this promise to you that I will be with you, that you will have so many descendants you can't count them, and that I will give this land to you. Verse 18, so Jacob rose early in the morning. Oops, I missed it. Verse 16, then Jacob woke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? Awesome meaning scary awesome, not like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, oh, let's be scared. How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. So traditionally, they say this is where they built the temple. This is also traditionally what many, I think we have it over one of the doors in my house. This is no, we do not have it over here. But I've been in churches that say this is none other than the house of God. They are quoting this verse from Genesis chapter 28, verse 17. So Jacob rose early in the morning, and he took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil on top of it. He called that place Beth-el, that is, the house of God. Beth is house, El is God, Beth-el, the house of God. But the name of the city was Luz at first. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, if God will be with me, and will keep me in the way that I will go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I shall come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone, which I have set up for a pillar, shall be God's house, and of all that you give me, I will surely give 1/10 to you. So if God will be with me, I will follow God, God will be my God, and I will donate 1/10 of everything to God. So this is one of the first examples, not the very first, because we heard that Abraham gave 1/10 to the king of Salem, the priest of Melchizedek, the king Melchizedek. Now here is Jacob saying he will give 1/10 to God. So this is one of the origins of the idea of a tithe, that you should give 1/10 of your income to God. It's not a hard and fast law. It's not one of the 10 commandments, thou must give 10%. But it is an example that Jacob sets that he is following God, and he gives 1/10 of everything that he receives, he will give to God. So this is kind of long. I knew that, and we're halfway through his journey. Jacob has left the promised land, is on his way back to Haran to find a wife amongst his cousins, and we will hear about that tomorrow. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord look at you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Go in peace. Serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.